Welcome back, basketball fans, to another massive, groundbreaking update that is absolutely sending shockwaves through the global basketball landscape and, most specifically, right into the very heart of Philippine basketball. If you have been tracking the pulse of the game, if you have been watching the shifting tectonic plates of professional basketball leagues across the world, then you know that we are standing on the precipice of a monumental paradigm shift. Today, we have an incredible influx of news that we need to unpack, a trifecta of basketball revelations that could very well redefine the trajectory of the sport for our homegrown talents. We're talking about none other than the prodigy himself, Kai Sotto, and a phenomenal, game-changing trend that is rapidly taking over the National Basketball Association. We are also diving deep into the relentless hustle and the compelling journey of Geo Chiu, who is fiercely chasing his spot in the lineup, proving that the grind never, ever stops. This is not just another daily update. This is a comprehensive, encyclopedic look into the future of our towering athletes and how the global stage is finally beginning to align perfectly with their unique physical gifts and cultivated skill sets. For decades, the Philippine basketball dream has been anchored by guards, quick, dynamic, sharpshooting playmakers who rely on agility and heart to overcome the traditional size disadvantages we face on the international stage. But the narrative is changing, and it is changing rapidly. The headline that is catching fire right now, the good news that every single Kai Sotto supporter has been waiting to hear, is deeply intertwined with a strategic revolution currently sweeping through the NBA. The rumor mills, the scouting reports, and the tactical blueprints of NBA front offices are increasingly pointing towards a fascinating, almost retro-futuristic concept, the deliberate, strategic necessity of having not just one, but two true 7-footers on every single NBA roster. This is the 2 7-footers per team phenomenon, and it is the absolute best news possible for a player with Kai Sotto's specific dimensions, offensive touch, and shot-altering presence. For years, the NBA was obsessed with small ball, prioritizing pace, space, and switchability to the point where traditional centers were being run off the floor. But the pendulum of basketball strategy is swinging back with a vengeance. We are witnessing the undeniable return of the towering titans, and this monumental shift in team-building philosophy is prying the NBA door wide open for Kai. But the story does not end with Kai Sotto's NBA aspirations. In the same breath, we are seeing breaking developments surrounding his former frontcourt partner, his brother-in-arms from their dominant days in the UAAP, Geo Chiu. The news dropping right now focuses on Geo Chiu relentlessly chasing his place in the professional lineup, battling through the ranks, and proving his immense value as a bruiser, enforcer, and a highly capable big man in his own right. From his time at Ateneo de Manila University, winning championships and establishing a winning pedigree, to his bold moves overseas playing in Japan's B.League with the Anaheim Orange Vikings, and now making his profound mark back home in the PBA as a highly touted draft pick for the Terra Firma Dipe, Geo's journey is the ultimate testament to resilience. He is fighting for every minute, chasing down every rebound, and forcing his way into the core rotations. The parallel journeys of Kai Sotto and Geo Chiu, two giants who once shared the same high school hardwood, who once dreamed the same dreams under the banner of Gilas youth, are now unfolding in real time, showcasing the incredible depth and the evolving physical profile of the modern Filipino basketball player. So, what does this all mean? It means the stars are aligning. The demand for sheer size, coupled with high basketball IQ and positional versatility, has never been higher in the upper echelons of professional basketball. For Kai Sotto, the NBA's newfound hunger for multiple 7-footers per team means his market value, his developmental trajectory, and his sheer utility as a prospect are skyrocketing. Teams are no longer looking at towering centers as obsolete dinosaurs. They are looking at them as essential, foundational pieces required to combat the massive frontcourts that are currently dominating the league. And for Geo Chiu, his continuous rise and his aggressive pursuit of a permanent, impactful spot in the lineup highlight the absolute necessity of having reliable, hard-nosed big men who can anchor a defense, set bone-crushing screens, and do the dirty work that allows the stars to shine. This broadcast is going to break down every single angle of these massive developments. We are going to analyze the NBA's tactical shift, we are going to dissect Kai Sotto's readiness to capitalize on this trend, and we are going to follow Geo Chiu's inspiring path as he carves out his professional legacy. Buckle up, because the landscape of Philippine basketball is transforming right before our eyes, and the era of the big man is officially back. Let us transition now into the absolute core of this basketball phenomenon, dissecting the layers of this massive news step by step, starting with a tectonic shift in the National Basketball Association's overarching strategy. To truly understand why this 2 7-footers per team concept is such incredibly good news for Kai Sotto, we have to take a historical and tactical journey through the evolution of the NBA over the past 10 to 15 years. If you rewind the clock to the early 2010s, the league experienced a massive revolution spearheaded by teams like the Golden State Warriors and the Miami Heat. The game became entirely about the three-point line, about perimeter speed, and about fielding lineups where all 5 players could switch defensive assignments on the perimeter. The traditional, plodding, back-to-the-basket 7-footer was suddenly deemed a liability. If a big man could not slide his feet on the perimeter to defend a quick guard, he was played off the court. We saw the rise of the stretch 5 and the era of small ball, where teams would essentially play forwards at the center position to maximize offensive spacing and defensive mobility. During that small ball era, a player like Kai Sotto, despite his incredible soft touch and phenomenal passing vision, might have been viewed with extreme skepticism by NBA scouts. They would have questioned his lateral quickness, his ability to survive on an island against a shifting, dancing point guard, and his overall physical strength in a league obsessed with pace. But the NBA is a league of constant adjustment, a perpetual game of chess where every dominant strategy eventually breeds a counter-strategy. And the counter-strategy to small ball has arrived in the form of absolute, overwhelming size. Teams began to realize that if their opponents were going small to shoot threes, they could punish them by going massive, dominating the glass, protecting the rim with terrifying efficiency, and scoring over the top of undersized defenders. Look at the blueprints of the most successful teams in the league right now. You look at the Minnesota Timberwolves, who shocked the basketball world by pairing Karl-Anthony Towns with Rudy Gobert, rolling out a genuine twin tower lineup that suffocated opposing offenses and created an impenetrable wall at the rim. You look at the Cleveland Cavaliers utilizing Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, 2 massive, mobile bigs who completely alter the geometry of the court. You look at the San Antonio Spurs building their entire future around the generational alien that is Victor Wembanyama, a player who proves that immense height, when combined with skill, is the ultimate basketball weapon. The league has realized that you cannot win a championship without elite rim protection, and you cannot secure elite rim protection without genuine, terrifying size. The new unwritten rule, the new philosophical mandate echoing through NBA front offices, is that one giant is no longer enough. Injuries happen, foul trouble happens, and the sheer physical toll of battling in the paint requires depth. Therefore, the mandate is clear. You need at least 2 legitimate 7-footers on your roster. You need a starting giant, and you need a giant coming off the bench to maintain that rim deterrence for all 48 minutes of the game. This is where Kai Sotto's entire narrative shifts from a hopeful dream to a highly calculated, statistically viable probability. Kai Sotto is not just a tall player. He is a legitimate 7'3" colossus with a wingspan that darkens the paint. More importantly, Kai is not a relic of the past. He fits the archetype of the modern giant. He possesses a remarkably soft shooting touch, demonstrating the ability to step out and hit the mid-range jumper, and increasingly, showing comfort from beyond the three-point arc. In a league that demands spacing, a 7'3" player who commands respect on the perimeter is an incredibly valuable asset. Furthermore, Kai's basketball IQ, particularly his passing ability from the high post, is elite for his size. He can operate as an offensive hub, finding cutters, executing dribble handoffs, and reading the defense with the maturity of a seasoned veteran. The 2 7-footers trend means that NBA teams are actively expanding their scouting networks, aggressively looking for players exactly like Kai to fill out their frontcourt rotations. They are not looking for 5 franchise-altering superstars. They are looking for specialized size. They are looking for players who can come in for 15 to 20 minutes a night, absolutely lock down the paint, alter every shot that comes near the basket, secure defensive rebounds, and provide a massive pick-and-roll target on the offensive end. Kai Sotto has spent the last few years playing in highly competitive, incredibly physical leagues across the globe. From the intense development of the G.League Ignite program to battling grown men in Australia's NBL with the Adelaide 36ers, and now showcasing his refined skills and improved physicality in Japan's B.League with the Kashigaya Alphas, Kai has been put through the crucible of professional basketball. He has absorbed contact, he has learned the nuances of international officiating, and he has continually polished his offensive repertoire. When an NBA general manager looks at his depth chart and realizes he needs a backup 7-footer to combat the giants of the Western or Eastern Conference, Kai Sotto's resume, his sheer dimensions, and his modern skill set make him an incredibly compelling option. This new NBA philosophy essentially lowers the barrier to entry for specialized big men, creating a massive, highly lucrative window of opportunity for Kai to finally kick down that NBA door. Simultaneously, While Kai navigates the global stage aiming for the ultimate prize, we must shift our focus to the domestic front and the incredible developments surrounding Geo Chiu. The headline, Geo Chiu Chases in the Lineup, is a powerful testament to the grit, the grind, and the relentless determination required to survive and thrive in professional basketball. Geo Chiu is a name that commands respect in the Philippine basketball community. Standing at a formidable 6'10", he represents the imposing, physical counterpart to Kai Sotto's finesse. If Kai is the rapier, Geo is the broadsword. Their history is deeply entwined, having forged an unbreakable bond and a devastating high-low synergy during their high school days at 8 Neo, leading the Blue Eaglets to UAAP glory. They understand each other's games perfectly, having spent countless hours in the gym, pushing each other and elevating each other's potential. Geo Chiu's path has been one of constant adaptation and relentless hard work. After a highly successful collegiate career with the 8 Neo Blue Eagles, where he secured multiple UAAP championships under the demanding, highly structured system of Coach Tab Baldwin, Geo made the incredibly brave decision to test his mettle overseas. He signed with the Ehime Orange Vikings in Japan's B.League second division. This was a crucial step. The B.League is renowned for its speed, its tactical discipline, and its reliance on highly skilled, highly physical import players. For a young Filipino big man to go over there, to adapt to a new culture, a new language, and a fiercely competitive basketball environment, speaks volumes about his character and his ambition. Geo didn't just go there to sit on the bench. He went there to learn, to absorb contact from massive foreign centers, and to refine his understanding of the professional game. He learned how to utilize his powerful frame to set immovable screens, how to secure positioning in the post against heavier opponents, and how to execute defensive rotations with absolute precision. Now, the narrative brings Geo Chiu back to Philippine soil, where he is actively chasing his destiny in the PBA lineup. Drafted first overall by the Terra Firma Dipe in the recent PBA draft, the expectations placed upon Geo are immense. The Terra Firma franchise has been desperate for a foundational piece, a cornerstone big man to anchor their defense and provide a reliable interior presence. When we say Geo Chiu chases in the lineup, we are talking about a young, hungry, physically imposing athlete who is fighting tooth and nail to prove that he is not just a prospect, but a day-one impact player. In the PBA, the center position is a brutal, unforgiving battleground. You are going up against legendary veterans, cunning imports, and physical specimens who will test your resolve on every single possession. Geo is currently in the process of imposing his will, proving to his coaching staff, his teammates, and the entire league that he deserves heavy minutes, that he deserves to be the focal point of their interior strategy. The synergy between Kai Sotto's NBA pursuit and Geo Chiu's PBA emergence is a beautiful reflection of the golden era of Philippine frontcourt development. For generations, we longed for size. We prayed for players who could look international giants in the eye. Now, we have a generation that is not just tall, but highly skilled, highly motivated, and strategically positioned to succeed. The concept of Geo Chiu dominating the local professional scene while Kai Sotto aims for the absolute pinnacle of the sport is incredibly inspiring. It creates a rising tide that lifts all boats. Every time Geo grabs a massive offensive rebound in the PBA, it reinforces the value of Filipino size. Every time Kai hits a trailing three-pointer in Japan, it catches the attention of NBA scouts looking to fill those mandatory 2 7-footer quotas. They are two sides of the same coin, two giants pushing the boundaries of what is possible for players from our archipelago. Furthermore, we have to look at the psychological and cultural impact of these developments. The Philippine basketball fanbase is arguably the most passionate, the most knowledgeable, and the most fiercely loyal in the entire world. The journey of Kai Sotto is not just an individual pursuit, it is a collective national dream. Every workout video, every stat line from Japan, every whisper of an NBA Summer League invite is analyzed, debated, and celebrated by millions. The fact that the NBA itself is shifting its strategic meta to favor players exactly like Kai is a massive vindication of this collective hope. It proves that we are not just hoping against hope. We are watching a highly skilled athlete enter a market that is actively desperate for his specific archetype. And with Geo Chiu, the fans see the heart, the hustle, the distinctly Filipino brand of physical, uncompromising basketball. They see a player who doesn't back down, who embraces the contact, and who is willing to do the grueling, unglamorous work required to secure a victory. We must also deeply analyze the specific skill translations required for Kai Sotto to fully lock in his position in this new NBA landscape. It is not simply enough to be tall. The modern NBA 7-footer, the backup center that teams are desperately searching for, must possess a specific toolkit. First and foremost is pick-and-roll defense. The NBA is a guard-driven, screen-heavy league. Kai must demonstrate the ability to play drop coverage effectively, sinking back into the paint to deter the drive while simultaneously using his massive wingspan to contest the floater or the lob pass, all without fouling. This requires elite timing, spatial awareness, and the ability to process the game at light speed. His time in the NBL and the B.League has been instrumental in this regard, as he has faced highly complex offensive systems designed to expose slow-footed bigs. Kai has shown remarkable improvement in his defensive footwork, learning to stay vertical, absorb contact to the chest, and alter shots purely with his length. Secondly, the modern giant must be an elite screen setter and a dynamic roller. The two-man game is the lifeblood of NBA offense. When Kai sets a screen, it must be a brick wall, dislodging the perimeter defender and creating an immediate advantage for his guard. When he rolls to the basket, he must do so with urgency, presenting a massive target for the lob, and demonstrating the soft hands required to catch the ball in traffic and finish through contact. This is where his synergy with players like Geo Chiu back in high school laid the foundation. They learned the angles, they learned the timing, and they learned how to make themselves available in tight spaces. Kai's offensive game is heavily reliant on his exceptional touch. His ability to finish with both hands around the rim, utilizing a variety of jump hooks and push shots, makes him a highly efficient interior scorer. But the true separator, the skill that could catapult Kai from a fringe prospect to a coveted asset in this 7-footers era, is his perimeter shooting. If Kai can consistently knock down the trail three-pointer, if he can force opposing centers to respect him out to the FIBA and NBA three-point lines, he completely changes the geometry of the court. He forces the opposing rim protector out of the paint, opening up driving lanes for his teammates. We have seen flashes of this brilliance. We have seen the smooth mechanics, the high release point that makes his shot virtually unblockable. If he can shoot the three ball at a respectable 35% clip, combined with his rim protection and passing, he becomes an absolute analytical darling for modern NBA front offices. He becomes the ultimate puzzle piece, a player who can seamlessly fit into multiple lineups, whether playing alongside a traditional power forward or anchoring a spread pick-and-roll offense surrounded by four shooters. And shifting back to Geo Chiu's intense chase for lineup supremacy, we have to look at the mechanics of establishing oneself as a dominant force in the PBA. The Philippine Basketball Association is unique. It is a league characterized by immense physicality, a punishing schedule, and a style of play that heavily relies on isolation scoring and rugged interior defense. For a young center like Geo, breaking into the starting rotation and demanding the ball requires more than just size. It requires an absolute refusal to be intimidated. Geo's collegiate pedigree under Tab Baldwin instilled in him a profound understanding of defensive rotations, help-side principles, and the importance of disciplined positioning. But the PBA requires a different level of aggression. Geo must become the enforcer. He must be the player who sets the tone early in the game with a hard foul, a massive box-out, and a relentless pursuit of the offensive glass. His stint in Japan was crucial for his physical development. The B.League features some incredibly strong, athletic import players. Banging against those bodies day in and day out forces a young player to either adapt and get stronger or get pushed out of the league. Geo adapted. He built his frame, he lowered his center of gravity, and he learned how to leverage his strength to secure rebounds out of his area. Now, as he chases his spot with the terra firma dipe, he is bringing that international experience, that hardened physicality, straight to the local hardwood. He is facing off against established veterans, the legendary big men of Philippine basketball, and he is not backing down an inch. The narrative of Geo Chiu chases in the lineup is essentially the narrative of a young lion challenging the old guard, fighting for his territory, and signaling a changing of the guard in the PBA's frontcourt landscape. This entire situation, Kai Sotto's perfect timing with the NBA's tactical evolution and Geo Chiu's aggressive ascent in the professional ranks, creates a golden age of observation for basketball analysts and fans alike. We are no longer just looking for the next great point guard. We are witnessing the blossoming of an entirely new archetype of Filipino basketball player. The world is getting bigger, the game is getting bigger, and our players are rising to the challenge. The 7-footers philosophy is not a fad. It is a structural correction to the extreme small ball era. It is a permanent shift in how teams evaluate talent, allocate their salary cap, and build their championship rosters. Every team that gets bullied in the playoffs by a massive front court immediately goes into the off-season looking for size. They look at the international leagues, they look at the G-League, and they look at players who possess the sheer physical dimensions required to survive the gauntlet. Kai Sotto is right there. He is visible, he is tested, and he is improving at a rapid rate. We must also consider the immense pressure that comes with these pursuits. For Kai Sotto, carrying the hopes of an entire nation on his broad shoulders is a burden that very few athletes can comprehend. Every misstep is magnified, every quiet game is heavily criticized, and the timeline for success is often wildly unrealistic in the eyes of the public. Yet, he continues to grind. He continues to travel the globe, seeking out the best competition, the best coaching, and the best environments to refine his craft. He has shown an incredible mental resilience, a quiet determination that speaks volumes about his character. He knows what the NBA is looking for. He knows about the 2 7-footers mandate. He knows that his moment is approaching, and he is doing everything in his power to ensure that when that call comes, he is unequivocally ready to answer it. Similarly, Geo Chiu's pressure is intensely localized but equally demanding. Being a top draft pick in the PBA comes with the immediate expectation of franchise salvation. Fans want immediate results, they want dominance, and they want to see their team climb out of the cellar and contend for championships. Geo has to navigate this pressure while simultaneously adjusting to the speed and the nuance of the professional game. He has to learn the tendencies of every opposing center, he has to master the complex defensive schemes of his coaching staff, and he has to find his voice as a leader on the floor. His chase for the lineup is not just about getting minutes, it is about establishing a legacy. It is about proving that he is the defensive anchor the franchise has been desperately seeking, the immovable object in the center of the paint that changes the entire complexion of their team defense. The intertwined narratives of Kai and Geo are a testament to the incredible developmental programs that are beginning to take root in Philippine basketball. The Gilas youth program, the elite high school systems like the UAAP, and the increasing willingness of our young stars to seek out international experience are all contributing to a massive leap in the quality of our prospects. We are no longer just producing players who are good enough for the local leagues. We are producing players who command the attention of the global basketball community. The fact that an NBA trend directly benefits a Filipino prospect is a monumental milestone. It signifies that we are no longer playing catch-up to the rest of the world. We are operating on the same timeline, understanding the same trends, and producing the specific types of players that the highest levels of the sport demand. As we wrap up this massive, exhaustive deep dive into the current state of Philippine big men, the sheer magnitude of this news cannot be overstated. We are witnessing a perfect storm of opportunity, preparation, and tactical evolution. The NBA's decisive pivot back towards massive size, their structural mandate to employ multiple 7-footers per team, is the ultimate green light for Kai Sotto's professional aspirations. It is the validation of his entire journey, proving that his unique combination of towering height, perimeter touch, and high basketball IQ is not just a novelty, but a highly sought-after commodity in the modern game. The window of opportunity is wide open, and Kai has never been more prepared to step through it and cement his legacy on the world's biggest stage. Simultaneously, the relentless, uncompromising chase of Geo Chiu as he battles for supremacy in the PBA lineup serves as a powerful reminder of the physical dominance and the heart that define the Filipino big man. His journey from the collegiate ranks to the international ruggedness of Japan, and now to the grueling battlegrounds of the PBA, is a masterclass in resilience and adaptation. Together, Kai and Geo are redefining the boundaries of what our athletes can achieve. They are proving that height is no longer our weakness, but rather, when combined with elite skill and unwavering dedication, it is our ultimate strength. The landscape has shifted, the era of the giants has returned, and our homegrown towering titans are absolutely ready to conquer it. Thank you for joining me on this incredibly deep dive into the shifting tectonic plates of the basketball world. If you appreciate this level of detailed analysis, if you are as passionate about the future of Gilas Pilipinas, the journeys of Kai Sotto and Geo Chiu, and the intricate tactics of the global game as I am, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a massive update. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think the NBA's 2 7-footer trend is the final key to Kai Sotto's NBA dream? And how dominant do you expect Geo Chiu to become in his professional career? Let the debate begin. Keep supporting our athletes, keep pushing the culture forward, and I will see you all in the next deep dive. Keep grinding, keep hooping, and take care.